Out and About Productions presents Out and About on the Recumbents. Ride slow, ride low, ride recumbent.
Yeah, it's pretty rough today. Morning.
Morning.
Okay. Morning, everybody. BJ and Joe Ondo out and about on the recumbents. And we are on the bumpy old asphalt part of the Templeton Gap Trail, one of the normal trails we do. Last couple rides were not normal, so decided we'd get in a normal ride this time and see if we can find something different for next time. But got the long crew here. Howdy, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Got some. I don't know what those flowers are. I guess they could be sunflowers, but they're really small sunflowers if they're sunflowers. I don't think they are. I think they look kind of like a sunflower, but I don't know. They grow a lot of them around here. But yeah. So we'll probably ride over and pick up the Austin Bluffs Trail. Take that as far as we can, and till it ends, and then turn back around and head over to pick up the Flint Ridge bike lane, and take that up to Academy and up to get some iced tea. Go with our brown bag special. It's kind of nice on the ride. The last ride, you know, we had a nice picnic table spot up there at Ice Lake on the Air Force Academy. Howdy, thank you. And today, though, it'll just have to be a little metal table on the patio area. Howdy. Excuse me, I got an itch on my nose. I can't figure out why sunscreen has to make you itch. Yeah. I tried all kinds of them. They all make my nose itch. All right. I go down into the tunnel here. The tunnel. And you know what we got to do. Ole, 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 ole. Oh, well, I tell you, I don't know about you guys, but we have been pestered to death with robocalls lately. Man, just constantly spam, spam, spam. You know, pretty darn crazy. They can just leave a message. Okay, so now we're back on the slightly newer concrete version of the Templeton Gap Trail. But got a gear down there. Yeah, well, hopefully you're having a good morning. And today is Wednesday, and as you can see, we don't have very clear skies. Yeah, we got a bunch of forest fire smoke from both Colorado and Utah. So we don't have very clear skies this morning. You know it's bad when you start out with a sinus headache, you know? But so shut the window in the front room and turned on the AC when we get home. So hopefully it'll be much more breathable. Howdy. And but yeah, we're just out for a ride. We yesterday was quite the day. It was boring as heck because, well, the first part wasn't, because we went up to our PACE center, which is called Explorer, because it's on Explorer Drive, and we did our Tai Chi class, which we missed last Tuesday because that was my birthday, and we had our good friend Joyce show up from Arizona, which was absolutely wonderful. And howdy. And we but yesterday, so we did the Tai Chi, but then right after the Tai Chi, not right after, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I had they were sending me to my urologist, not urologist, my gastro doctor. I don't know how you say that, gastroenterology or whatever. Got me on a new med for that, so we'll have to see how that works. Well, I'll tell you another thing too. You guys, you know, when you get a new medicine, you know, are you vigilant and you read the horror sheet, you know, of all the terrible things this medicine might do to you? And yeah, whew, lots of weird stuff. So hopefully it will do the job. They've basically put me down to having, you're gonna love this, chronic, oh darn it, chronic idiopathic constipation, which, to put that in English, means they have no idea why I have this problem. So but yeah, so I'm basically being la guinea pig and going to a different medicine. You know, this be my third or fourth pill type medicine. I've had, you know, before that it was every laxative on the planet, fiber, probiotics, blah 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 blah. None of that stuff did any good. Okay, that's enough of that boring stuff, huh? But I just thought I'd let you know what's going on. But yeah, we're getting up here to the fork in the road, literally. If you go straight, kind of straight, basically you kind of veer slightly to the right. That takes you underneath the bridge. Takes you underneath the bridge that goes over the canal on the right side here. And if you veer to the left, you go over the bridge, that takes you onto the Austin Bluffs Trail. And since the last couple times we've done this, we went underneath. We're gonna go this way this time. So we're gonna veer to the left. This is the Austin Bluffs Parkway, this big, huge overpass here. Heavy traffic area. There's the canal down there. Radley Bridge, but at least it's one of those ones that's made out of that, what do they call that? Telex? Something, but you know, it's not, it's man-made wood. But it seems to hold up a lot better than naturally made wood. And it's always a lot smoother. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna go up the hill here. There's two small hills, pretty good angles though. This basically, I don't know what street this is, but it basically what it is these houses here are backed up to a big old city park called Palmer Park. Palmer Park. As we have a Palmer Park Boulevard. And then we have Palmer Park too, so okay, kick this puppy up to 3 here and fly. It's time for me to fly. It's time for me to fly. It's time for me. Thank you. Wait for Joe up here. Yeah, this video probably won't be as long. Stop in the shade here. Here she comes. All right. Now we're going to go back downhill. Yay! We like downhill. Oh, got lean. Yeah. Got some real bumpy concrete there, and that shoe kind of came out. Yeah, the pedals and straps are a little bit of a disappointment. Especially because they were expensive, you know. But I mean, they do pretty good, you know. I mean, you know, most of the time, but if you really hit a bump, you know, it wants to come out. But it's funny, you know, it's like even though it came out, it still gripped the pedal and didn't, and you know, the foot didn't go down. And when I did slide it down, it went right into the strap. So, I mean, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. I had to shorten the strap so I could kind of try to get the ball of my foot, you know, away from the pedal. And so I could try to get rid of a little bit of, you know, some of that foot burn, you know. And it did seem to help, but I can't really make the straps any shorter than this, so this is the best position I can get. So I guess somewhere down the line, if you know, maybe if we we're not going to get a Tabor refund here in Colorado this year because, you know, with the federal government backing out on so many things, Colorado's got like a, I don't know, $100 million deficit or something, or no, I don't think it's 100. I think it's like a 45, you know. Okay, so, they took down the street sign. Ain't that a bummer? It was like Brennan or something like that. You would think that would go up into the park, but it actually doesn't. There's Joe. And there it is, Austin Bluffs Trail. Like I said, this all over to your left here where the camera's pointing is Palmer Park. Palmer Park is huge. It covers, I mean, like, 40,000 acres or something like that. It's huge. But it's not a park for trikes. It's it's a mountain bike and hiking type park. If you have a Tie-Fly X or a oh darn, I can't think of the name of it now. Oh, or a Steintrike Wild One, that has 4 or 5 inches of suspension, then, you might be able to do, they have one trail called the Green Crest Trail, and you might be able to do that trail on those. If you have, knobby-ish tires, something like the GT365 block knobby, or say like the Smart Sams, both by Chablis, out of Germany there. I think that's how you pronounce it, Schwably, yeah. Not Chablis, but Schwably. And, but yeah, that's all city park. We got to sneak up on these mowers now. Be careful, because they're not going to be able to see us. Yeah, this concrete is really choppy right here. It's concrete, but it's choppy. There's quite a view, but you can see the smoke, how bad the forest fire smoke is. It's bad, man. You can't even hardly see the mountains. Probably not the best day for us to be out, but after yesterday, where the only thing we got to do was the only thing we got to do was Tai Chi for exercise, and of course, a few, of our morning exercise routine. Excuse me, which is usually stretches and some light calisthenics and warm-up exercises. Usually, if you do all of them, it's between 40-45 minutes. If it's like laundry day and I add the stairs, I go up and down the stairs, 4 staircases of 28 stairs, and at all getting at a higher angle. Then it takes basically, about 50 minutes. Yeah, you can really see that smoke, boy. It's thick today. So Joe and I will be taking a lot of make sure nobody coming. Joe and I will be taking a lot of allergy pills today. They're just generic Benadryl, so they only last like 4 hours, so they don't last very long. and then we'll probably spend the rest of the night hacking and sneezing, you know, to get all this crud out of our lungs. Sad. You know, my brother Bob and I were talking. We grew up here in Colorado Springs and in Security, and we don't ever remember so much that every summer had fire smoke so badly. So I don't know if it's because we're supposed to be in the El Niña pattern, which is the female version, I guess, instead of the El Nino, and so that changes, the upper wind currents and stuff, and so we've just been, blasted with smoke lately. Although not as bad as 2 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, every day was like that for most of the summer. It was really terrible. But we got a big old fire. I don't think it's actually Elk Lake that's the big fire, but Elk Lake fire is part of it. It's way over on the western slope, over towards Durango and Pagosa Springs and over that way. Maybe a little higher north than those two, but I'm sure they're getting a smoke. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Like I said, when I turned 60, I started the yawns, and I have not been able to get rid of the yawns ever since. So what we're doing is we're going to head down here and pick up cross the canal again and pick up the Flint Ridge bike lane, which I'm not going to record because you guys have seen it 100 times. And it's just a bike lane, It's a nice bike lane, but it's just a bike lane. Oh, you know what? We didn't go far enough to do that. Well, I guess we're not going to do that then. Guess we're going to head someplace else for our iced tea and lunch. What we'll probably do is head down to Good Neighbors Meeting House, which would be great because I wouldn't mind a herbal berry iced tea. Big old dog. Hello, thank you. But yeah, I forgot. You have to go up the other trail, the other side of the trail to get up to there. So this will be a little different because we're not going to go there like normal. So I think what we'll do is once we're past the tunnel, we will go on to quiet mode and put in some music. But yeah, Joe's quite a ways behind. There she is. Okay. All right. Well, here comes a mower, so we got to wait for the mower to come down or come up. Okay, he came across. So we'll go ahead and go all the way through. Turn, baby, turn. Okay. Thank you again. Okay. Ole, 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 ole. Gotta kick it up here because we got a big old hill. Big hill. Okay. Up, up, up and away. Okay. I gotta cut this thing hard. Oh, I just made it too, boy. Got lucky. Just made it. Okay, well, like I said, we're gonna go into stealth mode here, and we'll get back to you. Well, we're getting towards the end of our ride today. Probably it's pretty warm. It's in the the mid 80s, I think, and with the heavy smoke from the forest fires in the air, don't know if we're gonna stop someplace and eat our apples and get another tea, or just say heck with it for today. But all in all, it's been a nice ride. Right now we're heading up the pedestrian overpass, as they call it. Goes over I-25, Interstate 25, heading north and south through Colorado Springs. And this baby goes way above the ground. Got railroad tracks here. Now we're going over I-25 itself. The sun from shining, what makes the world go round? How can you mend this broken man? How can I lose it ever again? Please help me mend my broken heart. Okay, now we're on the Mesa Springs Greenway, and that on the other side of that wall is I-25. That wall right there. Kind of got to feel sorry for these poor folks down here, because these are really old homes, so they probably bought them, might have bought them before the, before the highway even got put in. But even with the wall, it's still a pretty heavy sound, and it goes, it never slows down. It might slow down a little, but this interstate runs 24 hours a day. Yeah, you can pretty much see why they called this a greenway. But yeah, get some stuff done here real quick. Just want to say thank you to all our subscribers. And if you're new, please think seriously about subscribing. We are very slowly working our way up to 500, which would be really cool. If I got 500, I'd be totally ecstatic. We don't have to get any more than that. 500 would just be, it's just kind of one of those things, because supposedly you have to get up to 1,000 before you can, monetize. But I don't want to mess with any of that. Wow, look at this. That's a bummer. That looks like a lightning strike, man. I don't know what in the world would have done that. Yeah, that's all I can figure is lightning strike. But on top of that, hey, give us a like, which is, the thumbs up symbol. If you like what you saw. If you don't like what you saw, give us a thumbs down. And either way, hey, you can leave a comment right on the page, right on the YouTube page. You can even type it in while you're watching, unless you're watching on the TV. Then you'll have to go into your, you have to pull your phone out and or your tablet, and actually type in on that, because you can't type in on the TV. Too bad. Maybe some of you guys with more modern TVs could, but can't do it on mine. We have a pretty old TV. But oh, and hey, if you guys could do me a favor, after you've watched the movie, so get your popcorn and after you've watched the video, please put in a comment about how clear the picture is, okay? Especially like right here, like the trees, because on our TV, it's not clear. The trees and that type, you know, out about front are fuzzy. But on my computer, which is an old computer, but you know, everything's clear. So I'd appreciate it. That way I can kind of find out if I've got a problem with you know, with the totally dependable GoPro 6 here. And but yeah, you know, I really would appreciate if you guys could just let me know that hey, you know, it's coming out clear, it looks good. You know, except for your ugly mug there, BJ. Nothing I can do about the mug though, sorry. Let Joe go by here and get the light for me, because you have to get off and get this light now. They messed it up when they put in their fancy curbs and stuff. Kind of a real bummer. But yeah, I don't have much more on here. Looks like I got about 6 minutes or so and almost barely any battery. Although I do have another battery. But, you know, hey, I don't want these things to get like in 2 hours long. That's a little ridiculous. But, so yeah, just in case we, you know, run out of time here, just want to make sure we let you know that we do appreciate you guys hanging in with us after all this time. And so I get my wife to stop here. So from BJ and Joe Hondo, out and about on the recumbents, in the heat and the smoke, cough, choke, strangle. Always remember, man, till we see you next time, happy trails. Bye. Okay, go ahead. I'm stuck.